Hey, it's the conclusion of chapter 14, The Last Bomb. Besides shouting boom, Otis Amber delivered groceries from the shopping center to Sunset Towers, back and forth, to and fro. Not only did the tenants have to restock their bare shelves, they also had to add Westing paper products by the gross to their orders. Idiots, Otis muttered, just because the will says buy Westing paper products. He muttered, hefting a bulky bag from the compartment attached to his bike. Even Crow was using Westing disposable diapers to polish the silver and Westing paper towels to scrub the floors. Is that what happened to their clues? So Otis Amber's an essential worker. He's delivering groceries to everybody. Poor Crow. She's taking this game harder than he had expected. She's been acting strange again. Boom! Otis Amber shouted as the intern hurried by. Idiot, muttered Denton Deer. Denton Deer paced the floor. Listen, kid, I'd like to help you, but I'm only an intern specializing in plastic surgery. It would be different if you wanted a nose job or a facelift. He had meant to be amusing. It sounded cruel. Who do you think he's talking to? Well, it's right here. Chris had not asked for charity. All he wanted to do was play the game with the intern. All right, so Denton Deer would like to help, but he's a plastic surgeon. Do you know what plastic surgeons do? They do facial reconstruction, or they do, not volunteer surgeries, but elective surgeries where someone wants their face to look different. But a lot of plastic surgeons help people recover from accidents and that kind of stuff. All the intern wanted was half of the $10,000. I hear your brother suggested sharing clues. Sounds like a fine idea. No response. Maybe the kid thinks I'm the murderer. The tenants must think so, the way they peered over their shoulders. And that delivery boy shouting like that? Why me? I'm a doctor. I took an oath to save lives, not take them. I'm a very busy man, Chris. I have lots of sick people depending on me. Oh well. Plowing his fingers through his stringy mouse-brown hair to keep it out of his eyes. When would he find time for a haircut? He seated himself next to the wheelchair. The clues are in my locker, Chris. What were they? The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Plane, grain, shed. Chris spoke slowly. He had practiced his recitation over and over, hour after lonely hour. G, grain, oats, Otis Amber. F, for, shed, she, Ford. Ford lives in 4D. Ford, apartment 4D. Good thinking, Chris. The intern rose. Is that all? Chris decided not to tell him about the limper on the lawn, not until next time. His partner would have to visit him a next time, and a next time, as long as he didn't sign the check. Oh, look at this. Chris is holding the check over his partner's head so that he gets company. Now, about signing that check, Denton Deer said. Chris shook his head. No. On a bench in the lobby, Angela embroidered her trousseau, waiting for Denton. Dad had tried to teach her to drive, but she was too timid. He, too impatient. Why bother with driving lessons, her mother said. Anyone as pretty as you can always find a handsome young man to chauffeur you. She should have insisted, though. She should have said no, just once to her mother, just once. It was too late now. I don't know. I don't feel like it's too late. It's not too late for anything. She's only 19, 20 years old.
Wait, Mommy.
Theo came in with an armload of books. Hi, Angela. Hey, I found that quotation, or rather, the librarian found it. You know, may God thy gold refine. Really? Angela thought it unnecessary. To remind him it was Flora Bombeck and Turtle who'd asked about the quotation. Not she. What lush lips. What white teeth. What fine and shining hair. Theo fumbled between the pages of a chemistry book for the index card.
Index card.
It was written on third verse of America the Beautiful. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness and every gain divine. Theo had begun reading the refrain and ended up singing. He shyly laughed off his foolishness. I guess it doesn't have anything to do with money or the will, just Uncle Sam's patriotism popping up again. So patriotism means having pride in your country. Thank you, Theo. Angela stuffed her embroidery in the tapestry bag. Tapestry bag is like a big, huge purse. And on seeing Denton Deer rush off the elevator. Hello, Dr. Deer. How about a game of chess? Let's go, the intern said, ignoring Theo. All right, so she stops talking to Theo when Denton Deer comes off the elevator. Denton Deer ignores Theo, so there could be some jealousy there. Sandy opened the front door for the couple, whistling America the Beautiful. The doorman was a good whistler, thanks to his chipped front tooth. So details like that, Sandy having a chipped front tooth, pay attention to that. I can't drive you home. I'm on duty tonight. I'll take a cab. So here's Angela and Deer talking to each other. That's... Sashi, I'm recording right now, okay? Stop. Which is rare. I don't know if I've seen them interact. Why must you go back to the hospital? Your crazy partner isn't dying, you know. She's not crazy. She made up her so-called wasting disease. I call that crazy. Nothing wrong with her legs until that explosion in the Chinese restaurant. You're wrong. First, you asked me to look in on her, and now you don't want my opinion. Anyhow, I called a psychiatrist. Maybe you should talk to him too. I've never seen you look so troubled. What's wrong? The wedding dress isn't ready? The guest list is too long? You'll have to cope with more important matters than that once we're married. Unless you don't want to get married. Is that it? Ooh, what a question. Angela twisted the engagement ring her mother made her wear, in spite of the rash. No, she didn't want to get married, not right away. But she couldn't say it. She couldn't tell him, them, not like that. Denton would be so hurt. Her mother... ... The engagement was announced in the newspaper. The wedding gown, the shower. But once they found out she wasn't their perfect Angela. Oh my goodness. How long had she been sitting here in the hospital corridor? A man in a business suit. The psychiatrist came out of Seidel's room. You must be Angela, he said. How had Seidel described her? A pretty young thing? I hear you're going to marry one of our interns. She was going to get married. Her one claim to fame. So we're learning more about Angela here. She's at the hospital visiting Seidel. And she's had some inner thinking going on. Right? It's the inner thinking that really teaches us a lot about each one of these characters. She thinks she's not perfect. How's Miss Pulaski, Doctor? Do you mean, is she crazy? No. No more or less than anybody else in the town. But the crippling disease, did she make that up? So what? The woman was lonely and wanted some attention. So she did something about it. And quite creatively, too. Those painted crutches are a touch of genius. Is that normal? I mean, it's not insane to shock people into noticing who you are? The doctor patted Angela's cheek as though she were a child. No one was hurt by her little deception. Now go in and say hello to your friend. Do you see how people are treating Angela? And I think it has something to do with her looks and that she's a female. The doctor just patronizes her by patting her on the cheek. And her mother says, oh, you don't need to know how to drive. A man can drive you around. She goes in. Hello, Seidel. Without makeup, without jewelry, clothed in only a white hospital gown. She looked older, softer. She looked like a sad and homely human being. You talked to the doctors? Yes, it's a simple fracture, Angela replied. What else? Seidel turned her face to the wall. The doctor says your disease is incurable, but you could have a remission lasting 5 years, even more, if you took good care of yourself and don't overdo it. The doctor said that? Maybe a few people could be trusted. Did you bring my makeup? I must look a mess. So why is Angela lying? Why does she say, the doctor said it was incurable. Why would she lie to Seidel? The doctor said, of course, nothing's wrong with Seidel. In the Overstroff tapestry bag under Seidel's cosmetic case, Angela found a letter. It was a strange letter, written in tense and rigid handwriting. Forgive me, my daughter. God bless you, my child. Delight in your love, and the devil take Dr. dear. Hast thou found me, O mine enemy? The time draws near. Taped at the bottom were 2 clues. Thy beautiful. So there's a note in Angela's tapestry bag, and maybe you remember who put a note in the tapestry bag. Okay, that's the end of chapter 14, right? Who wrote this note and why? Probably more important than who.